I'll hop over the self-service catalog and go through an example. And this, think everything as a service. So this could be, as you can see, I've built out a library of things here. Some of these are multi-tier apps. Some are running infrastructure as code. We can run Terraform, CloudFormation, ARM templates, you name it. You just wrap one of these self-service catalog items around it, and then it's as easy as the self-service user to click this and just order it, and they get a shopping cart-like experience. We do have a library here that I'll show you really quick. So we've built out a lot of out-of-box catalog items that you can just grab and go. So there's a whole bunch of things that we have in this list here that are already out of the box that we find. And typically I would say if there's a theme to this, it's what we see most commonly with our clients, things that they need that we've built out for them. And we continue to add to this library as we see fit and as we have client situations that warrant it. And again, this library is all the things that you can grab and just go and use, even a Domino's Pizza one. So the theme here being that everything is a service. If we don't have it in this catalog, or maybe it's something very custom to your environment, you can write, if it's got an API, it's easy enough to write a catalog item against it to consume that API and represent it as a service catalog item. And these can be, like in my catalog, I'll go back to my catalog real quick here. And you can wrap governance around this as well. So users will only see and be able to deploy the things that you allow them to. So I'll just use, you can see there's some managed services from public clouds here, OSs that I built out. This is actually a container application. This is a 2-tier WordPress app with a database server and an app server. This is a Terraform run. I'm going to step over to a real simple one just to give you a feel for what this looks like from a user perspective. And so I'm going to just go over to my catalog to this Ubuntu server and give you a little visibility real quickly first, just to show you what it looks like. So first, I'm exposing it to certain groups. So in this case, developers, they are the only ones that can deploy a Ubuntu server. You could expand this to other groups if you want. For my use case here, I just have exposed developers. I haven't put any specific parameters in. And the build tab is quite simple. So this is just firing up an OS. If I were to have multiple steps here, like maybe I wanted to configure it, maybe I want to run an Ansible playbook, maybe I wanted to run a bunch of scripts to bootstrap it, I could put all that in place here, because there is the potential here to add in, scripts, copy files, interact with other web services, email, run Terraform plans, run remote scripts too. And the CloudBolt plugin, we have a whole bunch out of the box that you can leverage. And then this is where you would say, hey, I've got a very custom proprietary thing that I want to interact with and or make part of this orchestrated process. Easy enough to do that with the plugin architecture we have. And what I've done too here from a self-service perspective is I have exposed this to 3 different targets. And in these targets, in my case, I'm going for the shopping cart. I'm going for the simplistic user audience. And you can expose this however you want. So I'm predefining a lot of things. So the user's not going to have to answer these questions. They're not going to have to know what this is. In my use case, I'm assuming that this self-service user is very simple. They probably don't even know the answers to this. So what you're getting here is standardization. You're putting guardrails around a group of users. You're also putting guardrails around, security here. So let's say that there is a subnet they should not be going into for this instance. You can predefine that so it's obfuscated from them completely. Same with volumes or what key pairs are getting sent out, what security groups is being part of. So I have pre-configured a lot of that. So let's go through the process of ordering one. And there's a couple of cool things that happen. So first of all, we do pull in pricing from public clouds, and for private clouds, you can put rates in here to represent. So you can get a real-time view of what it's going to cost before you launch this. So at this point, we're getting cost visibility. So we're being pretty tight about, what we're putting out the door, what we're allowing this developer group to do, keeping them within the plan sizes in AWS that, maybe it's nanos only and nothing else. So you can put a lot of constraints and guardrails around that. You're increasing security, you're increasing your cost savings upfront before you even put it out into the wild, and getting a view into what that looks like. So in my case, all they got to choose is a target. So I'm going to choose AWS. I have a host name policy on there, so it's going to build that out automatically. It's going to tell me what it's going to cost to run this. Hit submit, and that's it. And so this is going to go talk across the APIs to Amazon. It could have been vCenter, could have been Azure, because I had those 3 options. So for a self-service user, it's extremely simple for them to consume, to launch a Ubuntu server. And this could be, far more complex, and that'll take about 3 to 5 minutes to come back. on average. And let me show you some other catalog examples. So these can be anything. So I'll show you a quick WordPress example. This is 2-tier. I've had clients that have up to, the biggest one I've done is someone had a 20-tier application configured out here. So a couple servers, a couple scripts to bootstrap those servers. So at the end of the day, when I launch this, I get a 2-tier WordPress app ready to go. So for a self-service user, this is extremely simple. They don't have to know all the details of how this happened. You could expose the details if you want. It's up to you as a sysadmin how you want to expose to the self-service audience, but you have tons of power to be able to do that, and tons of flexibility here. And then managed services. So this is actually an example here of this is actually, I built this out for a proof of concept I was going through, but this is a simple plugin that was built here. This is literally the code that does that. It's very straightforward, very simple to make. So literally the extensibility, you can do anything that you want to do. If we don't have it in our out-of-the-box library, very easy to extend and to write custom catalog items to represent your environment and your needs. And because pretty much all of our clients have proprietary needs. They've got I'll call it the 80% of the vanilla use cases that most government institutions as well as private companies have from a self-service perspective, and then they typically have a 10 to 20% custom thing that they entities that they need to build out as well. So that is the self-service. So what I'm going to have is once this is spun up, that server will be available. I can interact with it from a day 2 perspective. So here it is here. So I'm able to interact with it. It's still spinning up, so I don't have all the capabilities, but this list can be customized. I can actually run scripts on it. I can console out to it. I can, resize it if I need to. I could put power schedules on it. So there's a lot of interactivity from a day 2 perspective as well. So it's not just about provisioning. It's about, I have full maintenance capabilities. And again, this is exposed at whatever level you would like from a governor's perspective. So maybe you don't want your developers to be able to do this. I would say that in most cases, yes, that's absolutely a case. The developers are enabled to, taking, let's just say an average of, some of these VMs. I spoke to someone the other day. It was a 6-week process to get a VM to a developer to do their job. Through CloudBolt, we were able to take that down to 7 minutes from 6 weeks, which was a pretty giant pro for them. They're